In the 1950s, the quiet streets of Lanarkshire, Scotland, were gripped by fear. A cunning predator lurked among them, striking without warning and leaving no trace, except for the bodies of his victims. This is the story of Peter Manuel, a man whose chilling crimes earned him the name the Beast of Birkenshaw. Peter Manuel was no stranger to crime. Born in New York 1927 to Scottish parents, his family returned to Scotland when he was young. By his teenage years, Manuel was already a seasoned thief. But it wasn't until the mid-1950s that his violent tendencies escalated to murder. Lanarkshire was a close-knit community, the kind of place where neighbors greeted each other warmly. That peace was shattered in 1956 when 17-year-old Anne Knylands was found brutally beaten on a golf course. The crime shocked the town, but no one could imagine it was only the beginning. What made Manuel especially terrifying was his dual nature. By day he was charming and witty, blending seamlessly into society. By night he prowled the shadows, choosing victims seemingly at random. Manuel's killing spree escalated, targeting families in their homes. The Watts family, father, mother, and teenage daughter, were found shot dead in their beds in September 1956. A year later, the Smart family met a similar fate. The sheer brutality of these crimes left police baffled and the community paralyzed with fear. Manuel's cunning ability to evade capture frustrated authorities. Despite being a suspect in Anne Knyland's murder, he managed to secure an alibi and walk free. The lack of evidence in subsequent cases allowed him to continue his spree, each murder more brazen than the last. In January 1958, Manuel's most chilling crime unfolded. He broke into the home of Sydney Dawn and her two children, murdering them in cold blood before staying in their house for several days. He even ate their food and fed their cat, leaving behind a horrific scene that left investigators baffled. The pressure on law enforcement mounted as the body count grew. Detectives struggled to count the dots, hindered by Manuel's intelligence and manipulative charm, adding to the terror. Manuel taunted police, even inserting himself into investigation and offering helpful tips. But Manuel's arrogance would eventually be his downfall. After stealing a bank book from one of his victims, he boldly withdrew money in full view of witnesses. This reckless move provided the evidence detectives needed to bring him in. In January 1958, Peter Manuel was arrested. The trial that followed was a spectacle, with Manuel choosing to represent himself in court. His smug confidence unnerved the public, but his detailed confessions and chilling lack of remorse sealed his fate. Manuel was convicted of 7 murders, though many believe he was responsible for more. On July 11, 1958, he was hanged at Barlinnie Prison in Glasgow, bringing an end to one of Scotland's most notorious crime sprees. Peter Manuel's crimes left a scar on Lanarkshire, a haunting reminder of how one man's darkness can shatter the peace of an entire community. His name lives on, a chilling echo of fear that still resonates decades later. We fear monsters in the dark, but the greatest terror is the one that hides in plain sight. Peter Manuel was proof that the beast you fear may live right next door.